creativity is sort of my genius. I'm proud to say we all have a genius, don't you? Don't you agree? We all have sort of our thing we can do, and that's my thing is creativity. So I believe that it's my duty to talk about it. So when I heard it was the Let's Get Real, I said, well, why don't we do Let's Get Real about creativity? And Nancy, which thank you, Nancy, for everything. And thank you, Beth, and thank you, Andon, and thank you, Chris, and thank you to Unity of your board and everybody for bringing me here. Thank you for saying yes to the idea of let's get real about creativity. I believe that creative energy, I know that creative energy is behind everything. Yes, yes. Our habits, our inventions, our cultures, our systems, our fears, our breakthroughs, our art, our suffering, our healing, everything is creative energy. And the kicker is, of course, the breakthrough is the thing to remember is that we are at choice. Creative energy is power. And when it's misdirected, it binds us, right? When it's consciously expressed, it heals us. One of my favorite teachers, Ernest Holmes, who wrote The Science of Mind, said that addiction is the misuse of creative energy. So let's get real about that. We're not getting shamed by Ernest Holmes. He's just saying, you're really a creative person. You just don't know what to do with yourself, So yes, creativity can be like a hobby and it can be expressed as, singing and art and all that, but that's sort of not really what I'm talking about, although I will talk about those things because they are powerful. It's more about the spiritual, biological, and social force of creativity that keeps us alive and that fuels the life that we live, and it's ours to use. There's a creative power that is ours to use. Creative energy never stops, right? It's just changing direction. You cannot turn creativity off. I cannot turn creativity off. Say it.
I cannot turn creativity off.
If you are alive, you are creating, okay? The question becomes, the question isn't, am I creative? It's, what am I creating? Where is my creative energy going? This is the real question. Where is my creative energy going? Is it going toward your desires? If you want to know, look at your life. Look at your life. Take a moment. Just, am I happy? Am I happy? When creativity is expressed consciously, it becomes things like art, music, but also becomes connection, healing, visioning. When creativity is blocked and ignored, it just reroutes. It doesn't disappear. It becomes anxiety. Anybody? Compulsive behaviors, numbing, scrolling, addiction, hopelessness. It's all the same energy. It's just a different direction. So again, Ernest Holmes wasn't shaming things like addiction. He just was reframing it, saying there's power without a channel. You're on the wrong, turn to another channel. Don't we just love that idea of the radio station of consciousness, that everything's playing right now? Like, where are you turned to? And this matters right now because we are living in a politically charged, emotionally intense moment. There is real fear. Both sides. Democracy, human rights, truth, future of the planet. I mean, this is big. It feels like we're living in a big time. And there is constant stimulation with very little integration. So we are encouraged to react quickly, right? It's like, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? You're encouraged to react quickly and not reflect deeply. Fear is simply creative energy without imagination. Fear is simply creative energy without imagination. And I couldn't help but think as I was writing this about John Lennon's song, Imagine All the People, right? Imagine all the people, this song that unites us. It breaks down so many barriers. Like, imagine there's no religion. Imagine there's no this. Imagine it's like the most imagination heavy idea. And it was like this anthem. Living life in peace. What are some of the other lyrics? Living life. Imagine all the people living for today. No more wars. Living life as one. Creativity is not escapism. It's regulation, resilience, and resistance to despair. It's our nature to create. In New Thought, we understand this. Creativity is not static. Spirit is not static. Spirit is expressive, expansive, forever becoming. Forever becoming. Creation didn't stop. The Big Bang is still banging. You know what I mean? That's from a poetry friend of mine. I love that. The Big Bang is still banging. Creativity is still happening. It's just happening through us, as us, and all around us, which means that creativity is not, it's not really about making something pretty. It's about allowing life to move freely and fiercely through us in alignment. And I do want to share the story about my show, Ministar. I've taken pictures of me. This is just, see the observer effect. You know how when you're being watched, right? It's like weird. From the front, no double chin. Come on. I'm just a girl. But I'm doing this show called Ministar that I wrote tomorrow night. And Ministar, I love telling the story of Ministar because it is such a perfect example of the creative process and how you just don't know what you're doing. And I found this dollhouse, right? I found a dollhouse. I think I have a picture of the dollhouse to share. So this was the completed dollhouse, the first one, because I kind of got addicted to dollhouses and started making a bunch of them. But that is 3 feet high. And each of those rooms, the room of possibility is the one on the bottom left. It has a bunch of eggs and an acorn and a bunny. Everything represents different things like abundance and possibility and awe. And then there's the space of sweetness and the floor of form and metamorphosis. Anyway, you have to come see the show to hear more about the details of the dollhouse. Doesn't matter. The point is, I bought this dollhouse thinking, what am I doing with this dollhouse? And I started playing with this dollhouse. Oh, the room of possibility. Oh, the space of sweetness, like healing all these parts and pieces of myself just by play, just play. I'm an artist. Usually I'm making art to sell, which, by the way, you can buy some over there after. You can look at some of my art. But I don't usually make art to just make art, right? And I just was creating to create. And it became so profoundly changed me in such a fun, weird way that I was like, I need to write about this. And I started writing sort of like a chronicle of the dollhouse, the chronicles of the dollhouse. I wasn't thinking about making a show out of it. I was just writing the chronicles. And as I was writing the chronicles of the dollhouse, a dream reawakened to do theater, because, I've been doing music and ministry, but theater to sort of have more of a dramatic, like lights up, lights down, a show. I want to do a show, mama, And so I wrote the show about the dollhouse. And then I said, I've always wanted to be in New York City. New York City. I want to do the show in New York City. And I did the first show in New York City and I sold it out. And then I did the show 8 more times. I think there's another slide with I did the show and kept doing the show. And every time I did the show, I made a jacket that was sort of a patchwork of all the different things from the city that I was going to. And it was like the creative led to the other creative thing, led to the other creative thing, then led to the show, then led to the jackets, then led to, right? And now I'm like doing the show and it's fun. And you'll come tomorrow night, you'll see which jacket I chose. I didn't make a new jacket for Merritt Island. I'm done making jackets. I have 8 jackets. But the point is like this creative urge, when you follow it, it's like a river. It'll take you. And the whole point of the show is about shining your light. And, I think I thought I wanted to be like the North Star when I was a kid. I wanted to be, rock star on Broadway, and how many people in here had those big, big, big dreams, right? And then like sort of life happens and, you have a different path. And I'm a mini star, right? I am. I shine my light, in this way. And it's just as important. When you look up at the sky and you see, all these stars, every little star matters. You matter. Every little light matters. I believe that, truly. And in doing this show, it was like sort of coming to terms with that and going through that transformative journey of self-acceptance, self-love, the one that we all have to go on in some one way or another. So I wanted to share about the show, not just to promote it for tomorrow night, which you really should come see the show. I'm very proud of it. It's been so interesting to see the healings that it's done, not only on me, but my relationship with my mother, because there's like stuff about my mom in it. And, but also people who come see the show have these major healings that say, I can see this a new way, or, wow, you know what I mean? Like, I see me in you. That's why do people do one-person shows, and why do people make art? So that we can reflect off each other and heal each other and learn and grow. That's what creativity does. It connects us. It is cooperation with intelligence. I want to bring in a little bit of science because I'm not just a poet. I like neuroscience a lot, and it shows us that creative activities, here's just what creative engagement does. Look at all these things. Increases neuroplasticity, which is your ability to adapt. It calms you. I obviously need some calming, but also the fear center, not just calming you down, but calming your fear. Because when you're creating, it's like you're not afraid. Even when you're creating a sign, you want to go to a protest, you're doing that. It's like helping you to not be afraid. Activities in the prefrontal cortex, your choice, your empathy, it reduces cortisol, your stress hormones. Anybody have any stress? Increases dopamine, serotonin, motivation, well-being. I mean, and on and on. And these are studies, it's like, what do I need to convince you to go get a thing of crayons and start coloring? Because there's a responding that's happening in your body. And, coloring books became really popular a couple of years back. Remember that? They were like everywhere. And why? Because they actually work. Studies about coloring. It induces a meditative state. It shows your nervous system to calm down, reduce. Why? Because of pattern, color, repetition. It gives you something safe. It's a safety thing. Again, back to safety. When the outer world just feels chaotic, creativity and your inner world gives you structure. You might be able to, call your heal your inner child, but it's not about the childish part of it. It's the intelligent regulation. Also, creativity has been used as treatment for patients. In hospitals, creative expression shows reduced pain, lower anxiety before surgery, improved immunity, faster recovery times. I mean, also laughter. We know laughter, right? It's the V medicine. Who loves a good stand-up? Like where you're just, ha, ha, ha. Sebastian Maniscalco is my favorite right now. I love him so much. I love to laugh. It's used in trauma recovery, cancer wards, mental health treatment. Laughter increases oxygen, my drug of choice, strengthens the immune response, improves health. Laughter reminds the nervous system, I am not trapped. I'm just human. In trauma studies, it is the most effective healing tool is storytelling in trauma. If you think about that, it makes sense, right? Because when people are invited to write, draw, sing, or speak their experience, something shifts. Why? Because trauma traps experience in the body without language. So when you put words to it, right, you give it ability to move. You give it a shape, and that's how things heal. And my favorite art to talk about, of course, is music, where my musician's at, right? Music is the most healing force we have. Bypasses logic, goes straight to your nervous system. Do you guys go to the posies every year? Where are my posse people? No? Okay, well, next year, if it's not next year, maybe it's the year after, we say, at Passover, we say next year in Israel, next year, the posies. It's all the positive musicians together in one place. It is profound. I recommend it. There's something about the power of music. It goes straight to your nervous system. That's why people who can't speak can still sing. People with Alzheimer's remember lyrics. One song can bring us to tears or give us strength that we didn't know we had. Science confirms what we mystics have always known. Music synchronizes brain waves, lowers stress hormones, increases dopamine. I mean, look at all this group singing. Do you guys have a group singing here at all? Any choir or anything? You will. You're manifesting it right now. It reduces loneliness. It increases feelings of belonging, improves resilience. Who needs some resilience right now? So when we're singing Open Wide My Heart together, it is co-regulation. Co-regulation. Music teaches the body that you're not alone. That's why I love celebrities. I love, God bless Catherine O'Hara. You guys, we just lost Catherine O'Hara on this plane. She's transitioned to the great beyond, but man, was she funny and brilliant. Medicine. You're not alone. I love celebrity because we connect on it, right? It connects us. Even if we're like, oh, those Kardashians, I can't, like we connect on it, right? Housewives. I've never really gotten into the Housewives, but I bet it's great. I love, my mom still watches General Hospital, 100 years later. She's like, I could stop watching it for 2 years and I would still know what's going on if I turned it on. It's like the same plot forever. But it's the way to connect. It's how we connect. So I'll call tapping into your creative expression, shining your light, because I like this idea of shining your light. It's when you're aligned, and it sounds really beautiful, but you can feel it when you're doing it. And it's funny because I'm still not super comfortable, like just giving a talk, right? Like, because I'm comfortable behind the piano, and I'm still getting my wings here, getting my ministerial wings. I don't know if I'll ever have a pulpit. I think it's very brave to those who accept pulpits, because it's a lot. But just getting up here and speaking it's a lot, right? But that's how you do it. You just do it, and you just try it on for size, and you get better and you get better. Are you enjoying this at all? Am I boring you to tears? All right. Anyway, so I just want to give you, the opportunity to remember that shining your light does I'm giving you permission to shine your light by shining my light. That's that Marianne Williamson quote that we all love so much. And this is how we can be a force for good in the world, is being creative. Creativity is really, it's freedom. It's the ultimate freedom. So again, just to reflect back to the Ernest Holmes quote about addiction, anybody who might be struggling with any kind of addiction, and if you're not struggling with some kind of addiction, whether it's social media, food, drugs, weed, alcohol, with something, if you're not trying to check out right now, God bless you. God bless you. But I can get into the scrolling and scroll, and all of a sudden an hour's gone. But it's like, where can I put my creative energy? And Ernest Holmes does not condemn addiction, ever. It's just direct over here, misdirect, directed the river flowing down a new way. Creativity is power. Creativity is healing. Creativity is a choice. When creative energy is misused, we suffer. When creative energy is consciously expressed, we heal, individually and collectively. This world profits from fear. So creativity is courageous. In a culture of constant reaction, creativity is an act of freedom. I'll say it again. In a time of uncertainty, creativity is how spirit keeps moving. And that creative force lives in you. So as we close today, I want to offer the next song as a reminder that you don't have to shine like anybody else. It's another one of those things that we can do to just beat ourselves down as compare to others, right? Let's not do that, because your light is your light.